Today I'm going to be sharing about the things that I wish I knew before I started homeschooling. If we don't know each other already, I'm Lauren. I'm a homeschooling and working from home mom. I used to be an elementary teacher, so I taught second grade, kindergarten, and I was a reading interventionist. And then I switched it up and I homeschool my own child at home now. And I'm telling you about some things I wish I would have known before starting this journey. The first thing that I wish I would have known or realized was that homeschool, home education is not traditional schooling, and it doesn't have to be. So that's one of the best things about homeschooling. You are the teacher, you're the principal, you're the superintendent, and you have one student to focus on. Well, unless you have other kids. I have one student to focus on. So you know your child best, and that is the best thing to come from being able to be the teacher and the principal. You get to navigate things with them, for them, and really focus on their needs. The other perk to not being in a traditional school is that you also don't have to keep up with the same activities, the same hours, the same requirements that you would in a traditional school. So coming into home education, I was already on the mindset that we had to start at a certain time, we had to do PE and art at a certain time and for however many times each week, and that's not the case. We are able to have so much flexibility, and that is the best part of home education. The flexibility is ours to take hold of, to take ownership of, to have responsibility for. So we can do whatever we need to do throughout the day and still plug in homeschool when we want to or when we can. So if I want to go to the store, to the grocery store, if I decide to go have lunch with my grandma, if my son has karate practice, then we can schedule our homeschooling all around that. We don't have to put things off, especially around the holidays. That has been so great to not have to worry about a school schedule other than the one that we keep of our own. This brings me to the next thing. I really wish I would have known and recognized that homeschool is all about my learner or learners if you have more than one. So I built the curriculum that we follow for my son's schooling because I know best what he's going to take to. I see how he has developed, the things that he's interested in, how he best learns. If you are a little iffy on how your child learns best, I actually have a good resource to use for that may make you think a little differently and get creative in the ways that you instruct and give your child activities or assignments to complete that goes with their learning. So the curriculum that I implement best suits my child, and he loves math, so we put math at the end of our learning each day. That way he's really looking forward to it and he gets through everything else, but you can still tell that his excitement is for what we're doing during math. I enjoy that I have the flexibility to arrange our day and our curriculum and our learning to what he's interested in. So that could also look like field trips or different concepts that he's interested in that we will build our learning around. That way I know he's getting the most out of it. It's really making a connection for what he already has paved in his mind, and it will tie into the learning and have a stronger connection to him. Okay, so earlier we were talking about flexibility. So I have implemented expectations, number one, and a routine with my son. So he knows when it's school time, no matter what time we do school, when it is time to do school, he knows how to get ready. He knows what that looks like when he comes into our space for learning, get busy, get really focused, we don't play during that time, all of those different types of things. So exactly how we teach our child the expectations of sitting at the dinner table or cleaning up their toys, that's also the way that I implemented those things in our home education. So we have an agreement that I'm going to be focused and engaged and dedicated as the teacher, and he has to do the same as the learner. So that's how we have that 50-50 trade-off. But whenever we do our routine, it may fall at different times. That's why it was so important that we set ourselves up this way. So we can have an activity plan for the afternoon. So we're gonna knock out school in the morning and then I'll work around that. we like to do school in the afternoon. And from a lot of the people who I've seen, a lot of the moms that I watch on YouTube, of course, they like to do things in the morning or have like a morning basket or activity. That doesn't necessarily work for us, and that's fine. But I had to be realistic with myself and about my son's needs, wants, and all of that kind of jazz, so that we could set up a routine and a schedule that best fits our situation. Once again, the greatest things about homeschooling is that you have that flexibility. Now, along with flexibility comes room for slacking. I know. I used to be Professor of Procrastination. I will definitely take that role or that title. That's okay. I used to be like that until I found out what worked for me. So I know now if I don't have a set number of days in my head that we do school, it won't get done. So out of the week, as long as we get 5 days done, it doesn't matter when we do them, I know that we'll be fine. We'll still be on track. So if on Sunday my son says, hey, let's do school, cool. That's one of the days that we've checked off, and it doesn't matter if we do it Monday through Friday. Or if, let's say on Thanksgiving, for instance, that fell on a Thursday. So on Thanksgiving, we would have otherwise done our schoolwork. I should say done school, not done, whatever. On Thanksgiving, since it was Thursday, we would have otherwise done school, but since we were with family and enjoying all of that time, we pushed it off until Friday. But then that pushed Friday's stuff to Saturday. And that was okay, because in my head, I know I'm the captain of the ship. I know we have to keep us on board. However it happens that we get those 5 days done, even if it's doubling up in one day, we can do that. And that works. That's what works for us. So I guess the next thing I would say, what I wish I would have known, is whatever you are doing is okay. You know what's best for your situation and for your child or children. Now that rolls into my last thing. I have never had the relationship with my son that I do now because we homeschool. And I will say it has changed our family's dynamic. Not just the relationship that my son and I have with each other, but my husband has even said, I absolutely love that you homeschool. And I was not expecting that. Not only from myself, because I really enjoyed going to work. I really enjoyed having a relationship with not only the students that I was teaching, but with their families, with my coworkers. I enjoyed that camaraderie and getting out every day. And now my schedule and our everyday life looks a lot different. Now this even took place before the craziness of 2020, and I already knew that I was gonna be homeschooling my son when it did come time for him to be in kindergarten. So this was not something that just came about, but it has completely changed my mindset and how I go about things, because it's been a much more positive experience than I could have expected. Not only am I excited to go and teach my son and watch him figure things out and problem solve and converse with him about whatever we're learning about, but he enjoys it just as much. He loves when I teach him. He can't wait. He's so excited. He's proud of himself whenever he goes and figure something out that has to do with the topic that we've discussed, or even his reading skills as they're progressing. He's so excited to go and show everybody, my mom taught me or me and my mom went over this. And it has been so fun to just watch how engaged and enjoying he is during this whole experience. If you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to subscribe. There will be new videos every single week that you can follow along our homeschool journey and working from home and all the stuff that goes along with that. So thumbs up this video if you want to see some more like it, and I'll see you next time. I feel like this is terrible.